Hi, I'm Andy Torbett, professional adventurer and TV presenter, and I'm here to introduce you to this, the brand new Toyota Proace Lerina from Luna Campers. Now, I should point out I've got a vested interest in this, and I'm a little bit biased because I'm picking up my own brand new one of these next week. And before we get into the camping element of this new camper van, let's look at the van itself. The base vehicle comes as a 3,100 kilogram gross vehicle weight machine. Now this is special because it's far bigger, with a much bigger payload than anything else you like to see in a camper van. As well as that, things like alloy wheel, the metallic paint, sat nav, air conditioning, all come as standard. And you've got two choices of the base vehicle, either the 120 brake horsepower 6-speed manual, or if you want an automatic, it comes as a 180 brake horsepower automatic as well. So that's the base vehicle, that's the van element of the camper van. So let's look at the camping element. So sat up front, there's a lot going on up here. You've got all these controls around the steering wheel, which includes things like the cruise control. You've got the keyless entry and start, the sat nav and the Bluetooth, and then obviously a favourite of mine is the armrests, because I do some serious miles for work and pleasure. And this is not like a commercial van, this is a nice, luxury, comfortable space that I could spend a long time in on a big road trip, knowing that I'll arrive in my destination in good shape. So when it comes time to stop and you want to spin the seats around, it's very simple. For the passenger side, just make sure it's far enough forward, and then flick the lever down here, and round it goes. On the driver's side is exactly the same, just flick the lever, and round it goes. The next thing that I like to do when I've parked up is get the roof up, just to increase that living space you've got to manoeuvre in. So the first thing we do is just drop that down, and then either side there's two mechanisms for holding the roof in for added safety. That's two each side. So we press the first clip just to release it, and then same with the second clip, which is a strap. Do exactly the same on the other side. Just press the first clip and then press again to release the strap, and then we are away, and then the roof just pops up. There are a number of things within the main living area I'd like to go through with you. First off is the twin ring gas burner, handy when you're cooking your bacon and boiling the kettle at the same time. Next to that is the sink, which is supplied by the onboard water supply system, and I'll show you that in a second, along with the gas system as well, and where to access that and how to turn that on and make it safe. Below that is some storage space. I use that for cutlery and all that sort of bits and bobs, tin openers, what have you. Below that, very handily, is the fridge. Next to that is the big cupboard. Of course, you can also use that space to store your porta potty. And then finally at the far end, I've got what I use as my brew cupboard. So my little kettle, teas, coffees, sugar, cups and spoons go in there. So you're always ready for a brew when you need one. And then finally up this far end here, you've got sort of the electrical control points. So first off here is two USB charging points. Next to that, 3-pin domestic plug. Next to that is your main control panel for all the electrics, with your master switch, the switches for your lights, the power for things like the fridge, the water pump, and also a voltmeter to check how the volts are doing. 12.5, absolutely perfect. Now the power from that comes from three main sources. Your leisure battery, it's either charged from the alternator while you're driving along, also from the electrical hookup point, which I'll show you in a second on the outside, and finally is the solar panel on the roof, which works absolutely brilliantly. I've been parked up in the Highlands while camping, so not running the engine and not hooked up to electrical supply point. That solar panel has kept those volts above 12 the whole time after days and days of charging laptops, camera batteries and filming lights. So it works extremely well, even in a Scottish summer. The Eberspacher heating system that comes with the van is brilliant. Not only can you heat up the whole inside the van, even the coldest day in minutes, it's also got an inbuilt timer, so you can set it for, say, to come on at 6:30 in the morning. If you know that you'll be getting up at 7 o'clock, which means when you pull yourself out of bed, the van's already nice and warm. You can also change the mode to cool things down in the summer. So if the van's full of hot, stuffy air, it can blow the air, force the air up and out of the vents in the roof, which is great for moving that stale air away. There's even the chance to go for an optional extra, which allows you to operate it from your mobile phone. So you're out in the hills on a stormy winter's day and you're like 15 minutes walk from the van, freezing cold, soaking wet. You can actually tell your phone to turn on the heating system, so when you get to the van, it's already nice and cosy. The van comes with insulating window covers for the front windows, and for all the ones at the back, they've all got these lovely curtains. I'm going to deal with the utilities of the van now, starting off with water. That's your fill point in there, and that gives you all your fresh water for your sink for washing and cleaning and cooking. Moving back, we've got the electric hookup point there, fairly straightforward. And then finally, we've got the gas supply. Now what you would do is you get your gas bottle, and that fits in this cupboard here. It's got a vent, it's got a special secure harness that it'll sit in. And if you want to turn it on or off, we've got a lot of luggage in the back. Rather than offloading all that luggage to get access to this cupboard, all you actually need to do is just turn this. You can reach in and turn it on or off. And clearly when you're driving, you want to make sure it's off. The vehicle comes with a spare wheel as standard, which can be handy if you find yourself with a flat in the middle of nowhere. And while we're back here, I want to show you the table next, which is stored behind the rear seat. Just pops out, and then we'll set it up inside. So in the cupboard under the seat is the rest of the table. They just pop out. That just pops in there, and then that pops on top. Now, in a lot of camper vans, you'll find these fixed actually into the van itself, but what's handy about the fact it's freestanding means on a nice day, you can take it outside. The handy thing about the back seat is that it moves forward and back, and that's great because if you want it right back to give you the maximum amount of living space, it can be there. But if you want it right up front to give you the maximum amount of boot space for storing kit in, it also works for that too. And in fact, when we're travelling with the kids, we'll put the seats right far forward, which means we can reach them to hand them snacks or to make sure they're not misbehaving as we travel along. So how it works, again, very, very simple. You just press down on the little metal step and pull the lever out. Push it all the way up. Same on the other side, press down on the silver step, pull the little lever out and pop it up, and then simply walk it forward or walk it back. Now when you get into the position that you want it to be in, we'll bring this nice bit further forward. Again, you just click the step down till you find the notch, push that one down, push that one down, and it is very secure. So these have been crash tested out in Germany. They meet the European type approval, so they are as safe as it can be. So even though it moves forward and back, when it's locked down, it's locked as solid as any seat can be. One of my favourite things about the camper van is the bed. Now this is clearly the chair, but it will become the bed in just a second, and this is how easy it is. So first thing you do is you just simply pull the seat forward and then flip it over. Next, you've got a little handle down here, pull that up and that comes down. And finally, the back bit just pushes down. Before you take the roof down, just make sure all the panels are zipped up, and then when you take the roof down, get any excess material from the side panels and just bring it in, and that'll stop it, the material being pinched between the roof and the main part of the van as it closes down. So here we go. First thing, obviously, take the bed down. So grab the handles, just begin to pull the roof down. Now you've got to make sure that the side door, or at least some windows, are open to let the air out. As you bring it down, you can hopefully see I'm just teasing in that excess material to make sure it doesn't get trapped under the lip. Now, bearing in mind you've got a gas-fed cooker in the van, the safety systems in here and the alarm systems are exactly like the ones I've got in my own house. You've got both a CO2 alarm and a smoke alarm. And check out the website, because that's where you get the full list of both Toyota and Campervan dealers that will have these sort of vehicles where you can go along, take a look inside and crucially give it a test drive, because it is a beautiful thing to drive and, frankly, from my point of view, to sleep in, to cook in, to live in and to work in. So give it a go, I think you'll be impressed.